We are back with the final episode of 2025. You're listening to Retirement Lifestyle Show. I'm your co-host, Adrian Nicholson, and I hope you've been having a great year. I definitely am, and I'm going to be sharing some memorable moments of the year and also some of the episodes we recorded. But this is something that we've always been doing on the Retirement Lifestyle Show. This is typically always like our last episode of the year where we just take a look back at everything that happened this year, sort of year in review. This is going to be one of our more laid back episodes. The Retirement Lifestyle Show is still going strong. One thing we always like to point you out to is our website, retirementlifestyleshow.com. I think the website's phenomenal. Again, it has all of our episodes that we recorded. The Retirement Lifestyle Show has been going on since 2018. We're going on to about 7 years. In that time frame, we have recorded a lot of episodes, covered a lot of great topics, technical topics, some topics that relate to retirement, investing, lifestyle, education planning. There's a number of things that we covered and we had episodes on and talked about. That's why I'm telling you to go check out retirementlifestyleshow.com. In the top, there's a search bar. Again, whatever topic or anything that you're interested in, search that, and there will be an episode more than likely relating to what you're looking for or what you're interested in. And I think that's a great place to start out this episode. If there's something that you missed or want to cover or hear this year, you can go to our website, find an episode that pertains to your situation. If there's a certain topic that we haven't talked about before, you can't find a Retirement Lifestyle Show, please let us know because, again, we've recorded over 200 episodes. There's a topic that you're interested in that we haven't covered. We would love to hear about it. We would definitely enjoy hearing your feedback and figure out something that we haven't talked about. I'd be very surprised. That's why I'm opening you listeners and viewers to the challenge. I'm hoping you can see if there's something that we haven't talked about before on the Retirement Lifestyle Show. Starting at the beginning of the year, the first thing I did was I moved into a new place, which was nice, a lot more space, closer to the office. It wasn't even that tough of a move, which was awesome. That definitely always makes the process a lot easier. And then something else that comes to mind is around February, that's where I officially became a certified financial planner. I officially met all the requirements needed to become a certified financial planner. And that was honestly a big accomplishment. One of the things I was looking forward to the most was getting that certified financial planner designation. I was definitely looking forward to finally getting the actual diploma, the designation, and putting it up in my office, hanging up on the walls. And I've been definitely been using that designation a lot to speak with all the financial planning, investment meetings I've had this year. I mean, everything I learned, I've been using and I've been practicing a lot. I was definitely excited about that. That was also a cool thing that I wanted to share as well. Moving on to, again, some more of my memorable moments back in March now, I think we're at, we hosted a little bit of a housewarming event with the new place that we moved into. Good food, good drinks. We got to watch my alma mater, George Mason, compete in the tournament. Then my wife's birthday, that was also a great time. We checked out a restaurant that we've never been to before with some of our friends, and it was such a good time. The weather was starting to warm up. Summer 2025 was definitely one I'd never forget. Definitely started out with wedding season. We had a lot of weddings that we went to this year, back to back. The first one was in New York, which was a great time. My cousin got married. It was awesome. We had a nice view of Manhattan. The wedding was incredible. Got to see a lot of my families. That was a great time. And then the week after that, we traveled down to Southern Virginia for another wedding. I got to explore that area a lot. It was another really good time. And that led me straight into my birthday, celebrating 29 years on golfing, which was really cool. That's something I like to do. It's one of my favorite hobbies to do once the weather was finally getting warm. I just took some time off and enjoyed my birthday, golf. 4th of July weekend, didn't do too much, but it was still great, always having a 3-day weekend. I always make the most of it. And I guess I was preparing for August because August was the East Coast journey. That was one of the podcasts that we recorded this year. That was a lot of fun where my wife and we traveled all the way up the East Coast to Maine because her brother was getting married. I saw a lot of family up there. The wedding was great. It's always fun spending time up in Maine during the summertime. I have a lot of great memories up there. Then after the wedding, a couple days later, I had to fly out of Virginia and go to Miami for that Arte conference. It was a great time. If you haven't already, go check out that podcast episode, the East Coast Journey. I'll get into some more details later. But again, that was a great time where I hear from a lot of different companies, investment firms, private equity, private debt sponsor funds. It was a great way to go down there, just see what different investment opportunities are out there. This year was definitely a lot with the markets. In less than 2 months, the Dow Jones Industrial Average dropped 16%, the S&P 500 dropped 19%, and the NASDAQ dropped 24%. Since then, it has recovered. But again, that shows you how unpredictable years are. And one of the quotes that I heard recently is, volatility is the price you pay to be in the market, where over time, the markets, are a great way to create wealth. But you have to understand the risk component and the risk aspect that comes into being invested in the market. And that's volatility, whether that swings to the upside or swings to the downside, whatever it may be, that's the price you have to pay to be in the market and be invested. And that's one that I think is something that I'm going to be carrying forward with the rest of our investment journey. So going back to some things that, I enjoyed this year, my wife and I, we went to a fundraising philanthropy event where you got to bring your own dogs. It was a cool event where we could all go together, meet people, raise money for a good cause, raise awareness about animals. That was a really cool time. And then Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was a great time this year. It was one that I'll never forget. It was awesome. And then it leads to today, where we're recording another episode of Retirement Lifestyle Show. And then after this, a week from now, I'm going to be taking some time off. But again, we're going to be recording more episodes when 2026 rolls around. One of our best episodes this year was the 4 pieces to achieving personal success. And I think that episode resonates with a lot of people. We touched on 4 main topics, 4 main areas. That was building financial confidence with holistic financial planning. I mean, that's something that a lot of people struggle today, being financially confident. And a way to do that is creating a financial plan, reviewing it annually, seeing what adjustments are needed, making sure your data is up to date, and planning for any outcomes that may happen in the future. Another thing we also talked about on the 4 pieces to achieving personal success was your network is your net worth. The people you associate with, the people that you work with, the people that you go to school with, the people that you interact with on your daily life has a really big impact on your finances, your career success, your future ultimately is what that area or what that quote refers to. Also, another part of the episode was creating a trust team. These are advisors, legal experts, medical professional, a support network, surrounding yourself by people that not only have your best interests, but can help you grow or achieve your goals. And then the other 2 things that we also talked about on this podcast was the importance of health, whether it's physical, mental, spiritual, and not only to diversify your lifestyle. I mean, we talk about this plenty of times on the Retirement Lifestyle Show. Not only is it important to diversify when it comes to investing, but it's also important to diversify when it comes to your lifestyle, your routine. This is a way for you to find new things that you're interested in, find things that you're not interested in, and ultimately figure out things that will lead to the best type of routine, the best possible lifestyle for you in the future. Push yourself to be the best person that you could possibly be on any given day. Lastly, I want to go over some of the episodes that we recorded this year that are out, that came out in 2025. If any of these episodes are interested, they are on a lot of streaming services and YouTubes. I would definitely recommend checking them out. You could go to our website. I'm going to run them off real quickly. The most recent one, other than this one that we recorded, was 10 Things People Value in Retirement. End of Year Success, Reflect, Adapt, and Prepare for 2026 with Financial Strategies. East Coast Journey, that's the one I talked about before. It's called East Coast Journey, Exploring Alternative Investments. That's where I talked about traveling up to Maine for a wedding and then going to Miami for a conference, everything that I learned, everything that I did, everything that I enjoyed during that whole trip. Another episode, Simple Ways to Build Wealth and Security. Next, we have Top Market Alerts, Investors Watch. I think this is going to be a pivotal episode that you would want to check out going into 2026 to prepare yourself for anything that the markets and the economies throw your way. Another episode, How to Manage Monthly Expenses for a Better Financial Future. This is one too that I talked about. If you're looking for ways to build financial confidence, this could be a great episode for you to start that planning process. You can kind of propel yourself and your finances in the right direction with the new year approaching. Then we had 2025 market outlook. This is where we talk about equities, bonds, crypto, and what's next for investors. We're definitely going to do another episode probably at the start of 2026 where we give our outlooks and opinions on what we think the markets are going to do in 2026 and what we should be prepared for as far as economic change and policies. We had Wall Street, White House, Main Street, where we took the interconnectedness relationship between obviously Wall Street, White House, and businesses around the United States. We have the Law of the Land Financial Edition. This is giving another savvy tips on finances. Economic roller coaster. These are smart moves you can make in every cycle. How to find great investments in unpredictable markets. And the last episode that we recorded was Kickstart Your 2025 Financial Journey. We definitely went over a lot today. But again, the Retirement Lifestyle Show is going very strong. Listeners, viewers, we appreciate your support throughout the whole years, and we'll be back in 2026 for another great year of the Retirement Lifestyle Show.
Schedule a conversation with Roshan, Adrian, or Eric today at retirementlifestyleshow.com. Roshan and Eric are certified financial planner practitioners. They, along with Adrian, are investment advisor representatives and serve clients across the U.S. with financial planning and investment advice through Arete Wealth. If you found this show helpful, gained knowledge, or enjoyed the time you spent with us, tell your friends and leave us a 5-star review. This will help others discover the show. To access our show notes, to download any of the tools mentioned in today's podcast, to ask us a question, or to schedule a conversation, go to retirementlifestyleshow.com. All opinions expressed by podcast hosts and guests are solely their own. While based on information they believe is reliable, neither Arete Wealth nor its affiliates warrants its completeness or accuracy, nor do their opinions reflect the opinion of Arete Wealth. This podcast is for general informational purposes only and should not be regarded as specific advice or recommendations for any individual. Before making any decisions, consult a professional. The show hosts offer investment advice through Arete Wealth Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor, and securities through Arete Wealth Management, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC, and NFA. Finally, our music is The Chance by Jason Shaw and Audionautics. It's part of the YouTube audio library, and it's licensed under a Creative Commons license. I am Ray Voices. Thank you for listening.